Mankind is tied up, steeped in bad habits. They are constantly being fed, while good habits are starved. The undesirable bad habit guests have been allowed to fill the seats in the auditorium of your mind, whereas the good ones are hardly granted an audience and so go away discouraged. To develop good habits, you must nourish them with good actions. And to do this, it is necessary to seek good company. Environment in particular, the company you keep is very important, for it is stronger than willpower. Most human beings are traveling matterward and encourage you to follow their example. The searchlight of the mind of such persons is constantly directed outside, whereas its beam should be focused inside. People are running, but there is no place in the world to which they can flee to escape themselves. Ultimately, each one must face himself, and that is why you should seek association with saints and friends who turn your mind toward self-realization and away from the delusive influence of bad habits. If you pray for spiritual or material success, but entertain thoughts of possible failure, it is like sending someone on an errand only to have him attacked by bandits on the way. The thieves who prevent your success are your own bad habits. You send your prayer children to God without protection, and they are waylaid by robbers of habitual restlessness and doubt before they can reach God. He hears your prayers, of course, for God is everywhere and all-knowing, but under certain conditions, He does not answer those prayers in the way you have asked Him to. I will tell you a story. Once there was a king who told one of his subjects that unless he could answer a certain question, he would be hanged. The man said, "Tell me the question." The king then asked him, "Where does God sit, and which way does He look, north, south, east or west?" The subject went home to think and told his servant that he would be killed unless he answered the king within a fortnight. The servant said to his master, "Let me go for you, I will answer the question." So the servant went to the king and explained his errand. First, he said, "Let me sit on your throne, for while I answer your question, I am your teacher." The king surrendered his throne to the servant and then asked him, "Where does God sit? And which way does He look, north, south, east or west?" The servant responded with a request, "Bring me a cow." So a cow was brought. Then the servant said, "Where is the milk?" "In the udder," said the king. "Nay, sire," said the servant, "the milk is not only in the udder, but throughout the cow, for the milk is in the essence of the cow." Then the servant asked that a bowl of milk be brought, and when it was set before him, he asked the king, "Where is the butter?" The king said, "I see no butter." The servant answered, "The butter is throughout the milk. Just chum the milk, and the butter will become separated from it. Therefore, as the milk is all through the cow, and the butter is present throughout the milk, so is God everywhere." Thus did the wisdom of the servant save the life of his master, for the king received the correct answer to his question. If you ask yourself this same question, you will receive a like answer. For you must milk God's presence from the vastness of all nature, and you must churn Him from the matter-diluted mind by your heart's longing and inspiration in deep meditation. God realization is not a monopoly of yogis and swamis. He is in the heart and soul of every being. And when you open within yourself the secret temple in your heart, then with the all-knowing intuition of the soul you shall read the book of life. Then and only then will you contact the living God. And you will feel Him as the very essence of your being. Without this feeling in your heart, there will be no answer to your prayers. You may attract what your positive actions and good karma permit you to have, but to receive conscious response from God, you must first attain divine attunement with Him. When I was a child, I wrote a letter to God. I was so little I could hardly write, but I thought I told Him a great deal. I did not ask anything for myself. I asked to be told something about Himself. Every day I waited for the postman to bring me the answer to my letter, never doubting that it would come. And one day it did come. He came to me in a vision. I saw the answer of God written in letters of shining gold. I could scarcely read, but the meaning came to me. He said, I am life, I am love, I am looking after you through your father and mother. Then I understood, I felt God. If through sincerity and unconditional devotion your prayers reach God, it matters not if your sins be deeper than the ocean and higher than the Himalayas. He will destroy those karmic obstacles. For a time, perhaps, you may sink under a stratum of darkness, but still you are a spark of an eternal flame. You can hide the spark, but you can never destroy it. God is in everything. When you have Him, you have everything. Whatever I wish for now comes to me immediately. So I must be careful in my wishing. First and last, I wish for God. When I wish for others, I have to struggle, for I have to fight their karmas. In seeking God, you must be careful not to be secretly wishing for something else. When you wish for Him, saying to yourself, first I will wish for God, then surely I will get the automobile I want. That is not right. You cannot fool God. We must seek union of our consciousness with God's consciousness. When we have that, our prayers will not be waylaid. We are not beggars. We are sons of God. Never pray for anything of this world until you have first prayed successfully to know God. Pray until you have attained God. Then your prayers will be guided by wisdom, not by the inclinations of habits. Do not fool yourself. Wake up and say to Him, I will forsake all lesser desires. I yearn only to know Thee. Of course, you should pray for others who are suffering. But do not pray for things of the world until, through deep meditation and love for God, you feel your identity with Him. He knows what you need. Seek Him until you find Him, until your whole being throbs with His power and glory. Ask Him to reveal Himself to you. Do not rest until He answers. Ask with all your heart, again and again, reveal Thyself, reveal Thyself. The stars may be shattered, the earth may be dissolved, yet my soul shall cry unto Thee, reveal Thyself. The inertia of His silence will be broken by the steady, persistent hammering of your prayers. At last, like the invisible earthquake, He will suddenly make Himself manifest. The walls of silence, holding back the reservoir of your consciousness, will tremble and crumble, and you will feel that you are flowing like a river into the mighty ocean, and you will say to Him, I am now one with Thee. Whatever Thou hast, the same have I. You will be consciously face to face with yourself at last. The auditorium of your mind will be crowded to overflowing with the holy guests of your own divine thoughts. Beggars of grief and discord and pain will not be able to enter there, and their wails and sighs will be drowned in the harmony of an ever-singing and never-weary choir of happiness and peace.